what's going on, everyone? Welcome into First Take on a Monday. Hope you all had a fabulous weekend. Look who's back in the building, Timmy Legler. Great to see you. It's great to have you. Looking dapper per usual. SA, how we feeling? How we living?
Well, you know, that's not.
How's the race going?
That's not the proper greeting. The proper greeting should be, we missed you, because I haven't been here.
I mean, I do talk to you every day, but that's a great suit.
Thank you so much.
I love that.
Thank
Looks
you so
very
much.
nice.
I approve that message.
Do we have Shannon Sharpe?
There he is.
Okay, there he is. JJ.
There he is.
Blessing us with his Did you get another award this weekend?
Yes, he did.
Oh,
yes, he
my
did.
goodness.
I did.
Shannon, you and your brother, you don't stop. Making folks proud over here. Congratulations. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Congrats, Barbara Walters. Congrats, Barbara Walters.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, way to carry the torch. All right, guys, let's dive into it. Shannon, how about your Lakers? What's the deal, right? Came into Saturday, having lost 13 of their previous 14 contests to Denver. LA finally eliminated the team that knocked them out of the playoffs the last two seasons, 123-100, snapping the Nuggets' 9-game win streak. LeBron put up 25, Luka 32. Here's the newest member of the Lake Show with high expectations.
Our goal is to win championship. That's our only goal. And I think we have the team for that. Obviously the chemistry with me and the guys, is going to take a little time still. But, like you saw today, I think it's getting better and better.
Shannon Sharpe, what do you think? You agree with Luka that this team could actually win it all?
Well, when have a team that LeBron James been on hadn't been expected legs and StephenA to win a championship? And now you can combine him with a top 5 player who happens to be the age of 25, very motivated because he's disappointed that a team traded him and came out with all these reasons why they traded him. Yes, that is the expectations. Whether or not they can do it, I would like to see them have gotten a better big. But when you have these two, I feel that with these two guys right here playing the way they played, and you got the contributions that you got from Rui and AR, yes, why? Absolutely, why not? I'm very high on this team. Shows you what they are capable of doing, because over the last 8-9 games, they could not do anything with Nikola Jokic. They could not do anything with the Denver Nuggets. Now, Nikola had an off night, even though he had a triple-double. Jamal Murray cooled down. But I am very bullish on the Lakers. I think they have an opportunity, especially in the West. Look, we understand what OKC is, but are they battle-tested enough? Have they gone through the trials and tribulations enough? I know with Luka and LeBron having gone through the turmoil of a long, long NBA season and the rigors of a playoff, there's no question in my mind this team is battle-tested, and they have what it takes to get to the championship. Now, whether or not they can beat Boston on the other side of Cleveland is another story, but I do believe they can come out of the West.
Listen, what they did on Saturday night was make everybody stand up now and take notice. You got to pay attention to this team a lot closer. It wasn't at any point that I think, Shannon, that like Luka and LeBron aren't going to be able to figure it out. I was like, that's ridiculous because of the talent level and the IQ. Like, they're going to figure that part out. What I did not know was that the Los Angeles Lakers could play this level of defense that they're playing right now. And there's a lot of things go into defense. It's personnel, it's scheme, and then it's effort. It's really those three things. So the scheme part of it is where J.J. Redick comes into this, and what they are doing and the attention to detail with the personnel that they have. And look, there's going to be times they're going to have to protect Luka. You're going to have to do that, and they already did it in his first few games. It didn't really come into play Saturday night because they were so good offensively too, and he was so good, we didn't care as much about the defense. That is something they're going to have to do going forward, and I think J.J. Redick might be the right guy to develop game plans to protect him on that end. But the bottom line is, man, they swarmed Jokic. They had a commitment to it. They've got some big wings like Hatchimer and Dorian Finney-Smith and Vanderbilt. Those guys can take on bigger players. They showed you what they're capable of. So the question comes down to Luka, LeBron, and what does that look like at its best? And you got a taste of it the other night. And here's the thing that's going to matter. Luka has to be on the ball more than LeBron, because the other guy has to be willing to do one of two things, or both, run or cut. Luka doesn't run and he doesn't cut. That means the ball has to be in his hands more, because LeBron represents just the threat of a weak side slash, makes you defend him differently on the weak side. The ability to run the floor and throw it ahead, as you saw on Saturday night. Like, Luka's not going to do those things. He is a maestro with the basketball in dissecting your defense I think that they've worked that out now. It's going to be primarily Luka on the ball when they're on the court together, and I think that's the best way to operate.
Let me say this to Shannon Sharpe before I give my take on all of this. Shannon Sharpe threw in that little sound there where he talked about where has LeBron James not expected to win the championship? Well, last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. Since they won the championship,
he didn't win it.
4 years, excuse me, the last 3 years, the Lakers were not expected to win no damn championship. I'm just answering that question. That one question right there. He was not, excuse me, Denver 2 years ago when they swept them, they wasn't expected to beat Denver. Denver last year when they met them in the first round, they wasn't expected. And then the year before that when they had Frank Vogel there, oh no, they were not expected to do that. That's not true. They were not expected. So I'm just answering that question. You know better. You know better, Barbara Walters. You know better. Now let's get back to this, okay? I gotta say, having said all of that, Shay, having said all of that, Tim Lakeler, I can't front. The Lakers looked marvelous. They looked, Billy Crystal, you look marvelous. They were great. I was like, well, damn, and Shannon thought he was trolling me because, that's the first text I got. Go, James, go, all of this other stuff. That's the first thing I got. I knew I was going to hear from him. But I'm not mad because the more successful the Lakers are, the more time I get in Southern California. You don't bother me at all. I'm rooting for them, okay? But let me tell you something. It was special to watch. And when you see Hachimura, Austin Reeves elevates to that third option. A brother can ball, give love where love is due. You're looking at Hachimura. You were looking at the way he played Dorian Finney-Smith. You're looking at some of the size. No, you don't have bigs to go against the Jokic's of the world. But LeBron is 6'9", 250. You look at all of these other cats, they legit 6'8", 6'7", and they can put a body in. They can front you. They can help deny you the ball. They can suffocate you. They can force you to give it up, and they still got the speed to get out on perimeter shooters, which means you got to really, really be able to shoot if you're going to go against the Los Angeles Lakers. J.J. Redick, let me say this to America. The brother's a candidate for Coach of the Year. He's doing an outstanding job. Now, they're elite offensively, particularly with this 18-game stretch. 11 of those games, I believe, was without Anthony Davis. Offensively, they top 2 in the league in terms of 50% efficiency and all this. Defensively, they're number 1 during this stretch. We never thought we'd be able to say that about a Laker defense. We saw the difference. When JJ first arrived, we knew it was an upgrade from Darvin Ham offensively, but downgrade defensively because Darvin Ham specialized in that. Now we're seeing the Lakers come along defensively in a very, very impressive fashion. And if that continues, there's no telling what they could do in the West. They can make some noise. So I got to stand down, Shay. I got to look at the Los Angeles Lakers and go like this. Yo, these brothers got a chance. They got a chance to legitimately win the West when you consider the youth in OKC, the injuries in Dallas. All right, Denver, we saw how they looked the other night, and even Jokic admitted they were going against inferior competition, and they might have got ahead of themselves. We still don't know about the Clippers. We don't know what the hell has happened to the Phoenix Suns. And then Golden State, that's another story we'll get into a little bit later on in the show. I'm very impressed. The Los Angeles Lakers are a team to watch.
We just all have to be clear
another
about one
thing,
thing.
StephenA.
Okay, go ahead.
Go, Shannon.
Go ahead, Lex.
No, I was going to say
what I was going to say.
Let's all be clear. OKC
Just finish
is
your
still
thought.
the team, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All of us are clear.
As long as we agree on that.
Well, you and I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know about Shay. You and I agree. I don't know about him.
They were the team last year. And then what happened? Luka and Kyrie drug them out to deep water. Because when you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, are we still sure about the Memphis Grizzlies? Are we still sure about the Houston Rockets? I don't think the Lakers inferior those teams. I don't think anybody in the West, maybe with the exception of OKC. But when you look at those other 2 through 5, are you telling me the Lakers couldn't beat the Grizzlies? They couldn't beat the Rockets? The Timberwolves, any of those teams that's up there on the board? Absolutely they could, because you got 2 of the top players in the league, let alone the Western Conference. So I like that. The thing that concerns me, Legs and StephenA, is that if you watch that Hornets game, they put Luka in the pick and roll the last 2 minutes of the ball game and got every shot they wanted. LaMelo would have stepped back. They got lobs. They got floats. And so that's what concerns me. A guard that can handle the ball. Shea can handle the ball. Ja can handle the ball. That probably be Ant-Man. And even when they tried to switch it, he still called Luka's guy, put him in the high pick and roll, and they were able to get whatever they want. But when you look at the team, the way they played, and Legs, I agree with you, put LeBron off the ball because he's a better. How many dunker spot dunks did he get? You see him with the lob coming from the weak side. Hell, everybody thought he was throwing it to Jackson Hayes, and then LeBron came out of the Raptors. I'm Batman. Tell all your friends about me, StephenA.
All right, last word here, and then I want to get to your Knicks, StephenA. Last word here.
Yeah, look, and you saw by the standings that we put up, and what as you saw on Saturday night. For me, like Luka's not going to do those things. He is a maestro with the basketball in dissecting your defense. I think that they've worked that out now. It's going to be primarily Luka on the ball when they're on the court together, and I think that's the best way to operate.
Let me say this to Shannon Sharpe before I give my take on all of this. Shannon Sharpe threw in that little sound there where he talked about where has LeBron James not expected to win the championship? Well, last year, and the year before that, and the year before that. Since they won the championship,
he didn't win
4 years. Excuse me, the last 3 years, the Lakers were not expected to win no damn championship. I'm just answering that question. That one question right there. He was not. Excuse me. Denver 2 years ago when they swept them, they wasn't expected to beat Denver. Denver last year when they met them in the first round, they wasn't expected. And then the year before that when they had Frank Vogel there, oh no, they were not expected to do that. That's not true. They were not expected.
Monday kicks off with an electric edition of First Take, and right off the bat, there's a familiar face in the building. Tim Legler is back, looking sharp as ever. The energy is high, the conversation is lively, and just before diving into the hottest topics of the weekend, there's a moment of well-earned recognition. Shannon Sharpe, a walking trophy case at this point, adds yet another accolade to his collection. The man simply doesn't stop winning. But as always, the headlines don't wait, and there's no better way to start than with the Los Angeles Lakers making a statement against the defending champions. Coming into Saturday night, the Lakers had a mountain to climb. They had lost 13 of their last 14 matchups against the Denver Nuggets, the same team that ended their playoff hopes in each of the past 2 seasons. But this time, a different script. A dominant 123-100 victory, snapping Denver's win streak and sending a clear message to the Western Conference. LeBron James dropped 25, Luka Doncic countered with 32, and the newest member of the Lakers had this to say post-game: "Our goal is to win a championship. That's the only thing that matters. We have the team for that, and you can see it coming together already." It didn't take long for the debate to ignite. Shannon Sharpe wasted no time laying down the challenge. When has a LeBron-led team not been expected to contend for a title? Pairing the 4-time champion with a 25-year-old superstar in his prime? That's a recipe for expectations. Whether or not they can deliver is another story, but when you have these 2 generational talents on the floor, anything is possible. And when role players like Rui Hachimura and Austin Reeves step up the way they did Saturday night, it's hard not to believe. For years, the Lakers had no answer for Nikola Jokic. He's picked them apart time and time again, but this time, despite putting up yet another triple-double, he looked uncomfortable. Los Angeles swarmed him, threw waves of defenders at him, and took him out of his rhythm. Jamal Murray struggled as well, cooling off after a strong start. This wasn't just another game, it was a glimpse into what the Lakers could become. There's no question about Luka and LeBron figuring out their chemistry. That was never in doubt. Their talent and basketball IQ alone make that inevitable. But the real revelation? The Lakers' defense. Personnel, scheme, and effort. That's what makes a great defensive team, and this version of the Lakers is checking all 3 boxes. The arrival of J.J. Redick has brought a new level of attention to detail, and his schemes are allowing them to mask Luka's defensive weaknesses. They'll need to continue protecting him against elite scorers, but Saturday night was proof they're on the right path. At their best, this team is a nightmare to defend. Luka is the maestro, controlling the tempo, dissecting defenses, and making plays with surgical precision. But the key to unlocking their full potential? LeBron playing off the ball. Luka isn't a cutter, he isn't a runner, he needs the ball in his hands. That means LeBron has to embrace a different role at times, one that still demands attention even when he doesn't have possession. And when he does get the ball in transition, as we saw Saturday, his ability to collapse defenses is still second to none. Then came the reality check. Stephen Smith didn't hesitate to set the record straight. Shannon, let's not act like LeBron has been expected to win a title every single year since that bubble championship. The last 3 years? The Lakers weren't favored. They weren't expected to beat Denver. They weren't expected to win when Frank Vogel was still there. That's just facts. But after watching Saturday's performance, even StephenA had to admit, the Lakers looked marvelous. Shannon, of course, wasted no time firing back. StephenA, you saw what happened. You saw what they did to Denver. Now tell me, why can't they win the West? Who's stopping them? OKC? Are they battle-tested enough? Have they been through the wars? Luka and LeBron have. They know what it takes to get through an 82-game season and a brutal playoff run. There's no doubt in my mind that they can make it out of the West. Boston might be a different story, but getting to the finals? Absolutely. The argument didn't stop there. The biggest surprise wasn't just the Lakers' offensive brilliance, it was their defense. For a team that struggled to get stops earlier in the season, they're now locking in at a championship level. In their last 18 games, they've been a top 2 offense and the number 1 defense. That's an unheard-of transformation, and the credit belongs to Redick. The Lakers were supposed to improve offensively under him, but the defensive evolution has been stunning. If this continues, the ceiling for this team is far higher than anyone imagined. The Western Conference remains unpredictable. OKC has the talent, but do they have the experience? The Clippers are still a mystery. The Suns remain inconsistent. Golden State is in flux. And even Denver, as dominant as they've been, looked vulnerable Saturday night. The Lakers, once dismissed as an afterthought, now have everyone's attention. The show wrapped up with one final reminder: this is still OKC's conference to lose, at least for now. But if the Lakers continue playing at this level, if LeBron and Luka keep elevating, if this defense remains elite, there's no telling what could happen come playoff time. One thing is for sure, the race for the Western Conference just got a whole lot more interesting.